welcome back to the Mom's View. We're here with a very special guest today, Alli Trippy.
Hi guys.
So excited to have her here. But first we want to say Kayli's not here today. Our hearts go out to her. She is home with her family at this time. Her grandpa passed away. So if you guys want to go to her channel and give her a little love, I'm sure that she would appreciate it at this time. So, but in other news,
other breaking news, dun dun dun.
Alli, we're
Hello.
so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
If you guys don't know who Alli is, she's married to Charles Trippy, the Charles Trippy CTFXC crowd, and we're glad to have you here. And we have a lot of questions that we want to ask you today.
Okay, I think I might have some answers.
First of all, you do daily vlogs.
Yes,
you
I
and
do.
Charles do the daily vlogs, which Shay and I do. So I kind of know a little bit of what you have to go through every day.
Yes.
But you also, now when you first met Charles, he was already vlogging and stuff. So you kind of like came into his life knowing that this was going to be what you're going to have to put up with.
Yeah, he actually, the daily vlogs that I'm a part of now, we started together in May of 2009, but he had already had that channel and done some kind of behind the scenes stuff, and he had experience with videos long before we got together, and I actually met him on the internet, like through MySpace, which is kind of funny. It wasn't like I don't know if that, did I just like ruin a follow-up?
No.
Sorry. But yeah, he was into the online thing, and I guess it just kind of fell into place. I was okay with it. I was a dancer when I was younger, so I was kind of used to like being theatrical and like just having cameras on my face. My dad used to like film us like during graduation, all the embarrassing stuff. So I was used to like cameras being around and things like that. That just sounded creepy. I just really.
My dad camera, me all the
Yeah,
time,
my friends used to film me all the time when I was a kid. No, but I guess it was kind of natural, and like I don't mind being in front of the camera, I guess. So.
You actually knew Charles before, right? Before.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in, we were both in other relationships. I met him online in like 2005, and he was with someone else and I was with someone else, and we were just friends, and we kind of just talked, and he showed me some of his videos, and I was like, oh, you're funny and kind of goofy, and I asked him for technical advice anytime I had a question about computers or cameras. He would always help me. And he was actually a projectionist, and he used to like send his viewers little things, and I actually have a letter from 2005 when he cut King Kong and sent me like a clip or like a part of the 35 millimeter. Yeah, it was actually really cool. But yeah, we just kind of kept in touch online, and then we met for the first time in person at a Starbucks like really late, and we ended up talking all night. We stayed up all night, and then we went to IHOP in the morning. And then we were like, I guess we're dating.
Yeah. What did you think of him like the first time you actually met him?
I was so nervous because I always like thought he was cute, but I mean we had always just kind of been friends. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like shaking. I didn't know what to do. We went and got coffee, so I was like really spastic. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I need to relax. Yeah, but it was really funny. Actually, I don't know if I've told anybody this. We when we went out, I actually went to my mom's house and I snuck a bottle of alcohol to the park where we went because I was so nervous. And I was
my God!
Listen, yes, I can't. I don't even know. This is incriminating stuff. I was of legal age.
You have all the dirt.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it was. God, now I'm flushing. I just got really hot all of a sudden. But yeah, it was. I was so nervous. I had to just take a little nip.
Relax.
To relax. I didn't know what to do. I was like, he's so hot. I don't know what to do.
That's so awesome.
And how old were you when you guys met?
I talked to him like younger, but we were 19, 20? Was it 19, 20? That's incriminating. I can't say this stuff. Yeah, 19.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you guys, how long were you dating before you got married?
We actually were dating for 9 months before we got engaged. And then I was still in school. I went to FSU up in Tallahassee, which is like North Florida. And we got engaged when I was studying abroad in Spain. And I think we were engaged for 2 full years before we got married. So we, got serious fast. But, we lived together and we were engaged for a while before we decided to actually get married.
So when you started when you both started the everyday vlogs, you weren't married then? So
no, we actually, that was 5 months after we started dating. So that was, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was insane because it was kind of like, as we were learning about each other, we were also like kind of presenting that personal change to the internet.
that hard? Did like people play, like your viewers play hardships into your relationships? Like, do they have negative comments to say?
Oh, yeah.
That brought attention to you guys? Like, well, maybe.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you know, the internet's famous for that. We've got trolls and good. Don't say mean stuff. Actually, it's okay because, you know, how do we know the good without the bad? But, you know, it's just, it was hard at some points because, you know, people bring up old relationships, and he had done videos with his ex before, and this is going to open up the floodgates again, I'm sure. But that's okay. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just, that I think is definitely something that I think helped like strengthen our relationship because, you know, everybody has a past. Everyone has personal lives that are separate, and you find those things out about someone as time passes. It just happened really fast with us.
Yeah. Like it or not.
It was very public. So, you know, that was kind of, it just sped up the process, which I think in turn kind of just advanced our relationship and our understanding of each other just, you know, all the more. It just happened a lot quicker.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right.
It's almost like strengthened you guys in a way.
I think so. Yeah, we've been through quite a lot.
Yeah. I think it's amazing because you've taken the audience, you know, your viewers along this whole journey with you. I mean, they got to see like him propose to you and the whole wedding video, which is amazing if you guys haven't seen
That's
it.
how I got, I didn't even
It's
know who you guys
amazing.
were, and I saw something on Twitter, and I was like, first off, it's such a beautiful video. I think Corey Vidal
Yes,
filmed
he
it.
did, yeah.
And I
did an
fell in
amazing
love with
job.
you guys when I watched that video. I didn't even know anything about you guys then.
I would watch it like, I can't wait to be married like Alli.
It was so fun, but honestly, that whole experience, I mean, that came together with so many people's hard work. Like, that was a really big thing, like a big production. And I never imagined that to happen. I never even thought I was going to get married, much less, like, have this whole extravagant production put on YouTube. But it was really great. It was such a fun experience, and those guys were great. It was Corey Vidal and his team. They actually flew down from Canada just to do it, and it was, it was great. They did an amazing job, and the engagement video is amazing. Like, it's something that I'm really excited about. I always think about, like, okay, when I have kids, I don't know if I want them to, like, see all the videos that I've made.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy.
Exactly.
But I will be very okay with them seeing that video.
Right.
I'm happy that that's in history as something they can see.
When did you know, like with Charles, when did you know that he was the one? Was there like a moment or something that happened?
There was something that happened. That's funny. It was pretty soon after we were dating, actually. When we first, like I said, you know, we didn't expect to start dating. When we first met, it was like a friendly thing. We didn't go in with the intention of dating.
Yeah.
We just wanted to meet. But there was a time, it was when I drove down from Tallahassee one weekend to his house in Tampa, and I was reading a book for my mythology class, and I was drinking water, and I spilled the water all over myself as I was like reading. Like I was like so like, you know, into what I was reading that I just missed and like dumped water all over myself, and I screamed and I ran into the back room, and I was like, I just spilled water everywhere, I'm sorry, and like I made a mess. And he was like, oh my God, I love you. And I was like, you love me? And that was the first time he'd ever said it. And I was kind of like, I was really embarrassed, and like I was covered in water. And I was like, wait, you do? I was like, I think I love you too. And that was the first time we said I love you. And I think that was a big moment for us, I think.
Right.
See, spilling water can bring many people together.
Listen, it's a trippyism. You can be clumsy and still something good can come of it, I guess. That's what I tell myself anyway.
Right, exactly. So you're married now, obviously,
married.
and your life as a married couple is very different than most people's. I mean, when he is the bass player for We the Kings.
Yes, that's right.
And so tell us about that. Like, when did he get that opportunity, and how did you guys like decide together that, okay, this is like the first year of our marriage, you're gonna go on tour with these guys? Like, how did that all play out?
Well, it was, it's funny. That's another thing that was really interesting about our lives, is that we had a lot of mutual friends, and we grew up both in like the Sarasota, Bradenton area. So we kind of like knew all of the same people growing up, but we never crossed paths. I don't know how that happened, but we went to like the same shows, and we knew all the same people, and we were both actually friends with the guys in the band before we met.
Oh.
And so I knew those guys for a few years, and so did he, and he was in another band in high school. And then he got a phone call, I think it was August of last year, and they basically said, hey dude, like, how serious are you about playing bass, and could you come fill in for a little bit? Because we didn't know the situation at the time, and we didn't know that they needed like a permanent bassist to fill in. So we talked about it, and we both decided that, you know, we had been friends with them, they were cool guys, we wanted to help them out, we knew they were kind of in a pinch. so he agreed, and I was like, okay, just go do like a show, see how you feel, because he hadn't picked up a bass in years.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, well, I'll, give it a shot, see what happens, and he just loved it, and he felt so great playing, and I was like, you know what, he needs this. It's something separate from YouTube, which he had done for so long. So he, I think it was a good escape for him, because he loves YouTube, but it gets tough to do.
Right.
So he really enjoyed having something that was like a lifelong passion of his. He was able to finally get back into that. And his dad actually played with the Allman Brothers. He was a percussionist for the Greg Allman Band, so he was like, oh yeah, I get to be like my dad and play music.
cute.
So it was really personal for him.
Yeah.
So Charles is on with We the Kings now. So he's on tour. You guys are separated your first year of marriage, and he finds out that he has a brain tumor.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that
That.
and how you felt, and just, it already sounds so crazy to me. Like, he's gone, he's on tour, and then this happens.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
And you were like gone, right?
I was gone. I was in Thailand when it
Yeah,
happened.
not just gone, but like Thailand
I was like
gone.
across the world gone.
Yeah.
With Linz? I think
Yeah,
she told
with
me that,
Lindsay, yeah. So what happened was he was in Boise, he was in Idaho.
Which I feel responsible for. I'm like, they're gonna
can't
hate
even
Idaho
believe it.
for the rest of their life.
No, we love Idaho.
Okay, good.
Because he doesn't have a brain tumor anymore, so we
Oh,
love
but
it,
see,
so that's
Idaho.
good.
Right.
I just skipped right to the end, but it's good, good news. Yeah, so I was in Thailand with Lindsay, and he was on tour. I think he and his friend Danny were walking to get a coffee or something, and he just passed out, like on the ground, and he started having a seizure. And Danny just freaked out, didn't know what to do, but he did the right thing. He called 911, and they took him to the hospital. They ran a bunch of tests, and he called me as soon as it happened, but it was so crazy because I had okay, this is weird. People who like think that dreams they mean something and things like that. Okay, there's this person who was talking to me about if you have dreams that your teeth fall out, like it's either someone that has died or something bad has happened in your life. I've never dreamt that in my life. I dreamt it the night before he had a seizure. And I woke up and I was in a panic, and I called him, and he was in the hospital. Like, he answered the FaceTime call and he was in a hospital bed. And I was like,
serious?
what is
Oh my
going on? Like, it was ridiculous. It was so scary. And so, we didn't know what was going on for a few hours, and I was just thinking he was dehydrated or something like that. And that's something, that moment was something that I never felt. There's no way to prepare for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he told me it was a brain tumor, and I kind of just I was sitting on the bed and I was holding my phone, and my whole body was cold, and I just stopped talking, and my friend was like, what is going on, what's happening? And I could not find the words. I was like, I can't understand what's happening right now. Like, it was so scary. And there's no way to know how to deal with that. You just have to kind of hear it, let it sink in. And the first thing that went through my mind was, I can't panic, because he needs someone to not panic right now. So I was like, okay, panic when you get off the phone, don't panic when you're on the phone. And then of course I just lost it as soon as I hung up. But so I booked the next flight out, which wasn't for another day, so it kind of sucked because I had to stay there. But my friend came home with me. Lindsay decided to fly with me so I wouldn't be alone. And his mom came out, and my mom came out to Boise to meet him. And then we all flew home together. And, he sent all the information to the new doctor. We got this amazing doctor to help us out in Florida. He was so cool, and he booked the surgery right away. He decided that was the best option, and we went ahead with it. And he recovered in 2 weeks. It was done. Yeah, and he just had his actual, I think last week, he had his follow-up 3-month MRI, and it was clear. So it's really good, yeah, because, there was a little bit of a scare there with the, we didn't know if it was going to come back or what was going to happen, but it was benign, so that was the first good news.
Yeah.
But it didn't come back, so that's really
amazing.
It was such an emotional roller coaster.
It was crazy. I was like, I can't even imagine, going through all this stuff in a lifetime, much less before you're 30. He's gone through so much stuff. It's just crazy. But he's a really strong person, and I think that, given what we have to do every day, honestly, I think that what we do every day helped us get through it. I think it was just an overwhelming amount of support just pouring in from all sides.
Yeah.
Everyone was just so cool, and it was so great to be able to read other people's success stories. They say, oh, my mom had it, I had it, my family members had this. And it's just, that's not something, you don't walk around and go, hey, I'm Alli, I had a brain tumor. Like, that's not
Right.
something that you talk about right away.
Yeah.
But once you bridge that gap and you find out, I mean, it's the amount of support and just comfort and positive energy and words and everything pouring in was just amazing. And I think that helped. I really do.
Did it bring you guys closer?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I can
something.
only imagine.
It was crazy. I mean, and it was hard. It's hard to know what to do, and I didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do, and I was like, I just have to be supportive. But he was going through all these emotions. He was frustrated. He was angry. He wanted to know why it happened. They don't know why it happened, and that kind of thing is just like, you just have to go with it. I mean, that's the epitome of just pray and just go and just like push through. Like, you can't. There's no way to know how to handle it. You just have to like roll with the punches, and as you find out more information, you just go with that.
I think it's so amazing that it's like you're living this, crazy experience. He's gone, you're married, you're just barely married. Now he has a brain tumor, and you're doing all of this, and you're doing it to an audience. Everybody gets to be involved, and I think that's amazing. And hats off to you for being able to be strong through that. And I think that people watching you go through those experiences and the attitudes Charles just had the best attitude. I remember
really
watching
did.
those videos in the hospital. I'm like, he's so amazing right
And
now.
that's the thing is, I was like, I have to be strong, because if that, I felt like crying, and I'm like, this isn't even me. Like, if this were me, I would just shut down. But he's so strong. He just barreled through.
Right. I think it was inspiring to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it went both ways. I think he got a lot from it, and I think a lot of people were really, moved by his energy and his, his power to go through. Like you said, I think he really definitely showed some strength of character throughout that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we have some viewer questions.
Okay.
Today it comes from Sam G. They say, of course we want to know when Alli and Charles will feel ready for a baby.
Okay.
If she would be super excited or a bit scared with her first newborn. And then you already touched on how the first year of marriage with Charles is doing and how you hold up while Charles is on tour. So that's a lot.
Yes, that is a lot.
I want to know about the baby.
Tell us your life in one question.
Okay, I will. Let's go. It was a warm summer in 1989. Okay, so
I was like,
I'm like, when was I born? I can't think of this right now. Yes, babies. That is going to happen in the relatively near future, I believe. It's funny. I was just actually break the fourth wall. I was just talking about this with them. I don't know. He's on tour a lot, and he kind of grew up with, like I was saying, his dad was with Greg Allman, and he was on a tour bus when he was little. So I think he kind of likes that. He likes the idea of like having a kid exposed to music, which I do too, because music is a really big part of both of our lives.
Right.
So I'm not really opposed to that. But I also kind of don't want to like be alone raising your first baby, you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people are single moms, and I wouldn't be a single mom, but I'm in that sense. But I mean, I know a lot of women take care of the baby on their own, and I know that's hard. And I kind of want to have the experience of him with me for the first, for at least the first year or
How
something.
often does he travel in 1 year, would you
All
say?
the time. I mean, he left 2 days after we got married. He's been on tour since then. So he's been home for like a couple of days here and there. But, I mean, we see each other a lot. But I've gone there. I do go out to visit him, and so that makes it easier. We both are able to travel because of, YouTube. It's, a luxury that we get to travel and, do our work from anywhere, so that's good. But it is really difficult, and, I don't know. Everyone keeps asking, and there's not really any reason that we don't want kids right now, but we kind of want to wait till he's around a little bit more. But then I also kind of feel like that probably won't happen because he's going to be touring all the time.
Wow, that's conflicting.
Yeah, so I don't really know. I actually, going back about the brain tumor thing, when he was going through all of that, I wasn't sure, and he wasn't sure what he was going to have to go through. He was going to have to go through chemo. And, there are options for, because that can sometimes affect your sperm. So, so we were discussing whether or not we were going to have to, like, freeze it, or if we were going to have to try to have a kid before it happened.
Wow.
Yeah. If we wanted to do it just completely naturally, we would have to have a kid now.
Just right now,
So that was crazy, and we were prepared for that.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that didn't happen. So thankfully he's good. But
I'm like gonna cry. I'm like, look at you guys. You're such a strong couple, and like I'm just amazed that you've been able to be such a supportive wife during all of this. You know, like I don't know how I would be like, shake it home now.
I mean, I'm kind of like that though. I'm like, I just want you to be home. Come on now. But, I understand that it's what he loves, and it's something really personal to him. So, I mean, I don't want to stand in the way of that. And I love it, too. And it makes me happy to see him excited and on the road and meeting his music idols. I mean, he was on tour with like Taking Back Sunday and Newfound Glory and Simple Plan and all these guys who were, you know, people we listened to in like middle school and high school. So he loves that, and that's cool for him to meet his idols. And, you know, I just, okay, babies soon. Back on track here.
So I
babies soon.
If it was up to you, like how, because you said in the near future, like how, like what would be ideal for you?
I don't know. I think probably in the next few years, maybe like 2 or 3 years. I think that sounds great.
I just want somebody to have a baby.
And you know what's great? Okay, honestly, last night I had a moment with Baby Chard last night. We were sitting on the couch watching that movie, and she was just leaning on me, and it was the cutest thing. And I just had my arm around her, and she's got the tiniest little hands, and she's so cute. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want this feeling. And I was like, no, don't go baby crazy. I was like, not yet.
Just come and
later. I know. I'm like, I'll just take one of yours. That's fine.
Do you have family close that
I do, yes.
Okay,
yeah, we're very close to my in-laws, and we're close to my parents, not too far away at all in Florida. So, you know, that will be helpful. That's why I think, you know, if Charles decided he wanted to have kids sooner, I would probably be okay with it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you were able to be here with us today. There's so many things that I want to ask you and talk about, but good thing you're one of my friends, so I can call you anytime.
And we'll just vlog it so you guys can see it later.
Exactly. If you guys don't know who Alli is, we'll put her links, you know, below. But she has a great show. You guys stay tuned, watch her. And yes, thank you. And Carlie, we also have a Facebook giveaway.
Yes, with this amazing woman and her relationship in mind, we have this beautiful tote.
Woo!
And
I like
let's see what's inside.
That looks just like me and Charles.
Yes, it does.
Crafty little necklace. It's a little bit different, but I love it. Let's see how you guys pull it off. So the question is, like I said, with Alli and Charles in mind and everything they've overcome, we want to know what hardships you guys have overcome and what's your best advice in going through those and how you got through them. So most thumbs up wins this beautiful little bag.
Woo!
All right. Nice. And don't forget to comment, ask us other questions that you want to know about us and any other guests you'd like to see on the show. And we love you guys. As always, we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.